The end of the day is not an event. The end of the day is not an event. It is a process. It does not arrive suddenly, nor does it require acknowledgement in order to occur. It happens whether it is noticed or not, and yet many resist it, not openly, but through continuation, through thought, through review, through rehearsal. The body understands the ending of the day more readily than the mind. The body grows heavy, the senses dull, movement slows. The mind, however, attempts extension. It revisits what has already occurred. It examines moments that cannot be altered. It prepares for circumstances that have not yet arrived. This activity is often mistaken for responsibility, but responsibility has limits. There is a point beyond which continuation becomes unnecessary, and beyond that, unproductive. The day, once lived, does not improve through further consideration. What was incomplete remains incomplete, regardless of how long it is revisited. This is not failure. It is structure. Days are finite by design. They are meant to close. The idea that a day must be resolved before it can end is a misunderstanding of how resolution works. Resolution belongs to action. Night belongs to rest. The two are not interchangeable. When the day extends into the night through thought alone, the mind carries weight the body has already set down. This imbalance creates strain, not because thoughts are urgent, but because timing is wrong. Timing matters. A thought that appears reasonable at noon often becomes exaggerated after dusk. The same concern grows heavier when the body is no longer equipped to respond. This is not because the concern has changed, but because the resources available to meet it have diminished. Night reduces capacity. This is not a flaw, it is an instruction. The instruction is not to solve, but to stop. Letting the day end does not require approval. It does not require satisfaction. It does not require confidence about tomorrow. It requires only allowance. Allowance for incompleteness. Allowance for uncertainty. Allowance for things left undone. The day does not demand to be finished properly. It demands only to be finished. There is a quiet discipline in this. Not the discipline of effort, but the discipline of release. To let the day end is to acknowledge that nothing further can be added to it now. No insight will retroactively improve it. No worry will prepare it more thoroughly. The day has already taken its shape. Thought may continue to trace its edges, but the form is fixed. This tracing is habitual. The mind prefers continuity. It resists interruption, even natural interruption. But interruption is essential. Without interruption, motion becomes exhaustion. The ending of the day is one such interruption. It is a pause imposed by time itself. When this pause is ignored, the mind carries the momentum forward unnecessarily. It begins to borrow from tomorrow without permission. This borrowing creates fatigue before the next day has even begun. The body recognizes this imbalance and responds accordingly. Heaviness increases, reaction slows, attention scatters. These are not symptoms to correct, These are signals to heed. The day is ending. This does not mean it was successful or unsuccessful. It does not pass judgment. Days do not evaluate themselves. They simply conclude. It is the mind that insists on commentary. The body does not participate in this review. The body has already moved on. It prepares for stillness without consulting the mind's opinions. There is something instructive in this. The body trusts cycles. It does not argue with them. It does not attempt to negotiate extensions. It yields when yielding is required. This yielding is not surrender. It is alignment. Letting the day end is an act of alignment with reality. Reality does not require closure rituals. It requires acknowledgement. Acknowledgement that effort has a boundary. Acknowledgement that awareness dims by design. Acknowledgement that continuation has diminishing returns. Many attempt to push past this boundary in the hope of achieving peace through resolution. But peace does not arrive through contemplation, completion at night. It arrives through cessation. The night is not an opportunity to finish the day. It is an opportunity to stop carrying it. Thought resists this at first. It introduces urgency. It highlights loose ends. It presents imagined consequences. But these presentations lack force. They are rehearsals without a stage. Nothing can be acted upon now. This renders the urgency symbolic rather than functional. Symbolic urgency does not require response. It requires recognition. Recognition that the signal is misplaced. The appropriate response to misplaced urgency is not engagement, but postponement. Postponement is not avoidance when timing makes action impossible. It is discernment. The night is not indifferent, but it is unsuited to problem solving. It is unsuited to restoration. Letting the day end restores proportion. What felt significant earlier returns to its proper scale. What seemed unresolved reveals itself as merely ongoing. Most things do not conclude cleanly. They pause. This is sufficient. The expectation that days must close neatly is a modern imposition. For most of human history, days ended because darkness arrived, not because understanding was achieved. Understanding belongs to daylight. Rest belongs to night. The attempt to merge the two creates friction. Letting the day end does not erase responsibility. It delays it appropriately. Responsibility returns in the morning with renewed capacity. The mind does not need to guard the future overnight. The future is not fragile. It will wait. Thought may continue briefly. This is natural. But thought without fuel slows. It circles fewer topics. It loses sharpness. Eventually, it abandons precision altogether. This is not a loss. It is the correct ending of the day's mental activity. The mind, like the body, was not designed for continuous operation. It resets through disengagement. Letting the day end allows this reset to occur. Nothing essential is lost in the process. What remains important will return on its own. What does not return was not required. The day has ended. Whether this is accepted or not. Acceptance merely removes resistance, and resistance at night serves no function. There is no advantage to carrying the day further. There is no benefit to replaying it again. The day has already passed into memory. Memory does not require supervision. It settles when left undisturbed. The most respectful way to honor the day is to let it rest. And rest, when permitted, arrives without effort.